Welcome. It is the third annual, in fact, Solomonster Sounds of Make It Till Midnight New Year's Eve stream. It is a Saturday night this year. New Year's Eve falls on a Saturday. Can you believe 2022? It's almost over, almost in the rear view. We started 2022. I didn't make a note. I don't know what the exact number was. We had 60, it was in the low 60s, 60 something thousand subscribers. And now we are here on the verge of almost 72,000. And I want to thank all of you for not only being here with me tonight, but supporting the channel, supporting me and everything that I do all throughout the year. I see a lot of familiar faces in the chat tonight. It's very nice, very cool to see you guys hanging with me. So again, I want to thank you for joining me. I also want to give a shout out to two very special people here right at the top of the stream. Dr. Dakota Scorpio, thank you for that membership that you just gifted, but also Joshua Edwards, who gifted 5 channel memberships here an hour before I went live. Very cool. Joshua, I don't know why Joshua said that he won't be able to join us as much in 2023. I hope everything is okay. Hopefully we get to see you, but nonetheless, Happy New Year to you, brother. And I got to show some love to my boy, Jamie Dorsch. Jamie Dorsch dropped a hundy bomb on me before we went live tonight, a $100 super chat. So Jamie, if you are here with us, I thank you. It's a hell of a way to go out here, 2022. And actually, so we're going to be jumping around all over the place here. We're going to do some super chats. I'm going to go through my Wrestle Kingdom predictions, and then we're just going to hang out. So if you have super chats you want to drop, if you have predictions for 2023, send them on in, and we'll read them. I've got my, of course, for New Year's every year, you got to do the Jack and Coke. I mean, it's very predictable, but it's right for the occasion. So whatever you're drinking, whatever you're not drinking, if you're drinking water, if you're eating, snacking, whatever it is, if you're doing something else, pick your head up, pay attention to the stream. It's going to be all over the place. But I want to read Jamie's super chat here because he did get it in early. And Jamie, again, thank you. Was not expecting that. He says, I was watching a segment on Raw after the Royal Rumble from 2002 where Steve Austin came out and hit Mr. Perfect with a chair. I'll get to you guys in a second. Hit Mr. Perfect with a chair. After Val Venus confronted Austin, which resulted in Austin being visibly emotional and even Jim Ross laughing on commentary, is there a story behind this? I know exactly what you're talking about because Mr. Perfect, unfortunately, he didn't do very much when he came back to the company in 2002. There was a segment on that Raw, if you remember, in the back where Perfect went up to Austin's wife, Deborah. And he introduced himself to Deborah as if he was an old friend of Stone Cold's. And then he said, no, not really. And he was upset that Austin had hit him with a chair at the Rumble. So he confronted the man's wife. Hence why Austin came out later and just blasted him with a chair shot to the head. So if somebody came up to your wife and harassed her, you might take a chair shot or a chair and wallop them in the head too. So that's the reason why Austin did what he did. And it's amazing that I still remember that, but here we are 20 years later, and I couldn't tell you what happened 2 weeks ago on Raw, but there it is. Unfortunately, Kurt Hennig didn't do too much when he came back, so I do remember that. But Jamie, I hope that answers your question. Again, thank you, brother, for the $100 super chat and the $2 super chat. It says, all the best in 2023 to Solomonster and all the fans. Hey, do me a favor, hit that like button. There is no like goal tonight. We'll be the booker later, no matter what. But go ahead and hit the like button. It does help out the streams when you do so. I do appreciate it. Periodically tonight, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be popping in on the countdown. There it is. We are about an hour and 15 minutes away from midnight here on the East Coast. Now, I know some people who are with us right now in the chat are international. And so it may already be the new year where you are. We had our friend Aussie who was in here earlier. I know it's already New Year's where you are. So let me say Happy New Year to everybody who may be living someplace where it is already after midnight. And I hope that you will join me for the adventure that is 2023. For everybody else, at least if you're on the East Coast, there's the countdown. We'll periodically pop back in and check out, see where we are. But we got a little bit of time. What do you think of Roman? Roman rocking the New Year's hat. What do you think? Should we go with Roman with the hat, or should we go with Moxley with the glasses? What do you think? What do you guys think?
With a tear in my eye.
With a tear in his eye. Who is that? Is that Molly? Are you dropping Molly on me? You're already dropping Molly on me. I just started. It is Molly. Molly Mock. I'm going to pop over to the Super Chats here in a second before I even get to the Wrestle Kingdom stuff. This is a very busy weekend, really into the week coming up, because you would think this time of year things would slow down a lot and not a whole lot going on. And that is true as far as a lot of news and, WWE stuff. There isn't a whole lot going on, although there was a big SmackDown last night, which we talked about at length here on the channel. 2.5 hours if you missed the SmackDown review last night. John Cena back. Some say he's still out there calling spots. Charlotte Flair, the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Ronda Rousey, no longer champion. It's the devil and the angel, right? Pick which shoulder you want to sit on here. But this weekend, obviously, we're doing the New Year's stream tonight. Tomorrow is episode 789, which is the annual prediction show. So I'll be going through all the predictions that I got right and wrong this past year, and a whole bunch of new predictions for 2023 in the world of wrestling. That's for tomorrow. If you guys have predictions, feel free to send them on in, and we'll go through them. But it's a big show tomorrow. I'm talking about a lot of stuff, the Dax Harwood stuff as well, Dragon Lee, Don West. I'm going to try to get to the Ric Flair documentary if I can, but there's a lot going on. Next week, we got Raw. We have Wrestle Kingdom, which is going to be a big one. Big Dynamite in Seattle on Wednesday night, and then SmackDown next Friday. So there's a whole lot going on. Cameron Johnson, thank you, brother. Dropping $10 on me. Hey, Bliss Fan. Look at that. Bliss Fan is joining us tonight. Let's pop on over. I'm gonna bring back Roman here. Let me pop on over to the Super Chat screen. And then we'll get to the other stuff here in a second. Hey, Ali just gifted a channel membership. Who is the lucky recipient? Let's find out. Silver Dollar 1989. You can thank Ali Kokar for the gifted membership. Silver Dollar is our new channel member. Boy, this is strong stuff over here. I poured a good one. A Scody Clash, thank you for the $9.99. So let's go back here, because the messages have been coming in hot and heavy for the last few hours. Hey, Hashway, thank you for the 5. Says, I've been listening to the Sound Off Gamer until the live stream starts. Happy New Year, in case I am drooling in my pillow until the stream starts. Well, hopefully you are not drooling in your pillow or on whoever may be laying next to you on the pillow. Groovy Goose, from getting a shout out on the Sound Off for Goldberg in the Bank to Vince resigning and Brawl Out. This has been a fun year. Thank you, Solomonster. Boy, really, when you think about it, we have covered a lot of stuff this year, right? Vince McMahon stuff, the Brawl Out stuff, the purchase of Ring of Honor, Cody Rhodes stuff, Stone Cold coming back, all the big stories of the year. What will 2023 bring us? I'm almost afraid to ask the question. Jamie, again, thank you for the $102 super chat and the $2 super chat. How much alcohol until you become the surly monster? I don't know. Depends how long you guys keep me here for. We've got Jackie Fowler with a $25 super chat and a second one saying, Happy 2023, everybody. Mr. Fowler. Thank you, sir. Happy New Year to you as well. Joshua Edwards, Happy New Year. Thank you for the gifted memberships. Wrestling news was better than the wrestling shows. You may not be wrong on that. You may not be wrong on that. Look at this. It's not even midnight. Look who's dancing on screen. Look at this freak. Ty the Savior, Happy New Year to you as well. Queen Fire Panda, we have a question here. Dr. Dakota Scorpio and Drew McIncock against Shin Akuma and Quizzical One. So we have a battle of the chat members. Bell or buzzer? I'm going to give that the bell. Devin from NJ, prediction 2023 will be the year of Top Dollar. I see that Devin from NJ has been dipping into the spirits a little bit early tonight. Thank you, Devin. And Shawnee in the Wrestling with the $9.99. WWE had not done a best of for Bret Hart. What matches should be involved that are not Screwjob? I like Bret vs. Flair from the Invasion home video. Oh my goodness. I mean, Allie, again, thank you. Another gifted membership to Manish. So Manish can thank Ollie for that. I mean, look, take your pick. I'm trying to think of matches that I wouldn't ordinarily tell, but, you know, I keep going back to a lot of the same ones, but you can't go wrong. Bryant Becerra is with us tonight. There you go. I don't want to rip my shirt. The shirt's too tight. I can't do the Bushwhacker pose. I'll rip a hole in this. Brian, thank you. I mean, look, you can't go wrong with Sean Waltman and Bret on Raw. Bob Backlund and Bret on Superstars back in '94 is one that you don't hear about as much. You know, Bret and Lawler from SummerSlam. I mean, there's so many, and then of course there's all the obvious ones. So, but I don't know what you mean as far as them not doing a best of. I mean, I don't know. They've done plenty of best ofs for him before in DVD, so I'm not sure what you're talking about. Michael Cuomo, 2022 was the most newsworthy wrestling year in at least over a decade. That's exactly right. And Taylor Cannon, 2022 was crazy in wrestling. Yeah, I think it's going to be very difficult for 2023 to sort of match up. There's really no story bigger than Vince McMahon leaving. I can't imagine there being a story in unless it's the return of Vince McMahon, God for fucking bid. But I can't imagine there being a bigger story next year than the story we had this summer. And there's Molly Mock Shepherd with that 1992. Been listening since 2012. This year has been very rough, going into the new year starting over. As a trucker, you've got me through some long nights and hard days. Thank you, brother, and Happy New Year. Well, Molly, I appreciate that very much. And as somebody who is the son of a trucker, I know that can be a tough life on the road, so I wish you all the best, and here's to a bigger and better 2023. Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate it. Ice cream for more. Happy New Year's. Wish you could have ice cream. I wish to. It's all right. I got my fake ice cream. It's all good. Fake ice cream is almost as good as the actual ice cream. So I can't complain too much. Keep sending them on in. I'm going to keep reading your super chats here, but I want to take a pause here to talk about Wrestle Kingdom here just for a little bit. Now, I mentioned Wrestle Kingdom is coming up this week. It happens to fall on early Wednesday morning, Eastern time. And so the plan right now, and if this changes, I'll let you guys know on Monday night. The plan right now will be for me to go live sometime on Wednesday afternoon. I have to watch the show first. I'm not waking up at 3 o'clock. I'm sorry. I'm not waking up at 3 a.m. to watch Wrestle Kingdom. So I probably won't even start watching the show, in all honesty, until 10, somewhere around then. So if I go live, it'll be sometime mid-afternoon, do a stream, and then come back that night and do a big Dynamite stream. This is a big show in Seattle on Wednesday. So you're probably going to get 2 live streams out of me on Wednesday. I'm already dreading this week. But there's going to be a lot of great wrestling, so it's all good. It's all good. But Wrestle Kingdom 17 is at the Tokyo Dome, January 4th. It is the annual January 4th show. And this is the card as it stands. And I'll run through this card, and I'll give you my predictions. You give me yours, if you are aware of what the card is. Of course, Antonio Inoki passed away in October. Antonio Inoki was the founding father of New Japan Pro Wrestling. This was the 50th anniversary this year of New Japan. So they are having an Antonio Inoki Memorial six-man tag. It's going to be Togi Makabe, Satoshi Kojima, and Yuji Nagata taking on Tatsumi Fujinami, Tiger Mask, and Minoru Suzuki. I'm going with Kojima, Nagata, and Makabe in this match. It's just how I feel. Just call it a gut feeling. We've got the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles on the line. Francesco Akira and TJP defend against Lio Rush and Yo. Last week, Akira attacked Yo. They had a show at Corkin Hall, and he attacked him there. I think Lio and Yo take the titles. I've only seen one of their recent matches, but I know they've been... seemingly they've been doing well recently in New Japan. I think they'll take the title, so they're my pick. Then we have the IWGP Women's Championship. For the very first time, the IWGP Women's title will be defended at the Tokyo Dome at a Wrestle Kingdom. It will be Kairi defending her title against Tam Nakano. I don't think that there's any debate about who's going to win this match. I think people would be very, very surprised if Tam Nakano walks away with that title. So Kairi is going to retain. And that is when we are going to get the New Japan debut of Mercedes. Mercedes Moné will make her presence felt at the end of that match. I think there'll be a face-to-face confrontation in the ring with Kairi. They'll exchange words. And I think that will set up a match, a championship match between Kairi and Sasha. Now, they have a show in the States coming up in February. I want to say it's February 18th. I believe it might be in San Jose. And that would seem to be a likely place, right? They wouldn't have any problem selling tickets to that show. But there is another night of Wrestle Kingdom coming up, I think, at the Yokohama Arena later on in January. I think the match could take place there. It could technically take place as part of Wrestle Kingdom, just not until later in the month. Whenever the match is, that is the match that we are going to get. It will be Kairi defending against Mercedes. Kairi has to win here in order for that to happen. So Kairi will remain the IWGP Women's Champion. And by the way, some news, actually. There is a big Stardom show. Stardom is preparing for a big show in April. It will likely be on April 23rd at the Yokohama Arena. And apparently, Sasha has made a commitment to work that show. Now, whether she's the IWGP Women's Champion going into that show, we don't know. But she apparently is signed, sealed, and delivered, at least for that show, in April. So she's going to be working some dates for Stardom. You know, Stardom and New Japan, owned by the same parent company, for anybody who's not familiar with all this. And wait a minute, she's going to be at, New Japan show, but you're talking about Stardom. They're all owned by the same entity. So it's all basically one and the same, in effect, if you want to think about it like that. And so she's going to be doing some work with them for a while. And I think that the potential is there for her to go and have some kick-ass matches. This is what she's always wanted to do. She's always spoken very fondly about wanting to go and work in Japan. She's talked very fondly about wanting to work with Meiko Satomura, which is going to be hard to do given that Meiko works for WWE. But this, for her, look, we're counting down tonight, right? Let me put it back up on the screen here. Here's the countdown. We are now 1 hour away from midnight here on the East Coast. When the clock strikes 12, she will officially be, the belief is that she will officially be a free agent. You will probably see tomorrow, Sasha's name will move from the WWE Superstar page to the alumni section. And she will be free and clear of her WWE contract. And this is going to be the year of Mercedes in 2023. She is going to be free as a bird to fly wherever she wants and to make a name for herself independently. She can work anywhere she wants to. She can make her own schedule. She can call her own shots. She is going to have her freedom in exactly 60 minutes from now. And her year begins at the Tokyo Dome this Wednesday. It's going to be a lot of fun to follow and see where she ends up. And I will let you know where I think she is going to end up on the podcast tomorrow when I do predictions. But let's move on here. We have Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Ren Narita to crown the first ever New Japan Pro Wrestling television champion. We talk a lot about Tony Khan and AEW and all the different titles that they have. You can say the same thing about New Japan. New Japan has a lot of championships. So now they're introducing another one, a television title. I think this has Zack Saber's name on it, so he's my pick. We have the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title will be on the line as Taiji Ishimori defends against Hiromu Takahashi, the former champion, El Desperado, and Master Wato in a four-way match. It looked like they were heading for something with Ishimori and Kushida. And I think Kushida has been snake-bitten with injuries. I know a few months ago he had hand, foot, and mouth disease, and I think he's been out recently with an illness. I don't know if it's the same illness or not. So, he's had some bad luck recently. Had he not gotten sick, he probably would have been one-on-one or he would be part of this match. I think maybe Wato got his spot. But I would imagine that they're just going to wait for Kushida to be ready to come back, and then they'll have Ishimori against Kushida. So I think Ishimori is going to retain his championship. Then we have the IWGP Tag Team titles up for grabs. Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, FTR, making their Tokyo Dome debut to defend their IWGP Tag Team titles against the team of Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto. FTR just dropped their Ring of Honor Tag Team titles at Final Battle. They just dropped their AAA Tag Team titles just a few days ago to Dragon Lee and Dralistico, who promptly turned around and vacated the championship because Dragon Lee is going to WWE. But they've lost their ROH belts. They've lost their AAA Tag Team titles. They had a shot at the AEW Tag Team titles on Dynamite against the Acclaimed a few weeks ago, and they lost that too. These guys have been on a losing streak now for several weeks. I think that losing streak continues. I mean, they're shedding all the gold. I think that the IWGP Tag Team belts are the next ones to go. I think we're going to have new tag team champions. I think it's going to be Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto winning those titles. Carl Anderson, part of the OC, right? Back in WWE, is still the never openweight champion. And he recently retained his title over Hikuleo. Well, he's going to be at the Tokyo Dome to defend his never openweight title. He'll have Doc Gallows with him. No AJ Styles. Not that AJ would have been there, but he definitely won't be there now. Unfortunately, AJ Styles, for those who are not aware, has a broken ankle. Broke his ankle at the event in Miami the other night. Is not having surgery, which is good news. If he had surgery, he'd be out 6 to 8 months. So he's going to let the ankle heal naturally. Unfortunately, that's going to be a 3 to 4 month process. So the likelihood of AJ Styles wrestling at WrestleMania is very slim. Not impossible, but very unlikely. So he will not be there, but it will be Carl Anderson defending against Tama Tonga. And this has to be where Carl Anderson, who has vowed to be the never openweight champion for all eternity, eternity ends on Wednesday at the Tokyo Dome. Tama Tonga will be the new never openweight champion. I do not see Carl Anderson continuing this relationship with New Japan beyond this week. Then we have Keiji Muto's last match in a New Japan ring. It's going to be Shota Umino, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Keiji Muto, who, by the way, Muta is wrestling Shinsuke Nakamura at the Pro Wrestling Noah show in just a few hours. When I do the podcast tomorrow, I'm gonna find out and see if I can watch the match. But I'm gonna wait and see who won the match. I'll talk about it on the show. Going down just in a matter of hours. Then he's going to the Tokyo Dome on Wednesday to be part of this 6-man tag against Bushi, Sonata, and Tetsuya Naito. I think that what we're going to have here is the teacher puts over his student here in this match. And we're going to have Sonata pinning Muto with the moonsault. I remember when Sonata first came to TNA, and he came in and they were talking a lot about how he was a student of, the great Muta, and he was trained by the great Muta. He was his mentor. I think it would be appropriate all these years later if Sonata is the one who beats Muta in his final match in a New Japan ring. So that's how I think this will go down. And then we get to the double main event here on this show. What some people are calling the American main event. The real main event, which is for the IWGP United States Championship. It will be Will Ospreay defending his title against the returning Kenny Omega, who has not competed at the Tokyo Dome or in a New Japan ring. I mean, what has it been? Probably 4 years, 3.5 years since the last time we saw him in a New Japan ring. It's been some time. It's been a while. There was a period of time early on when AEW first started where it didn't look like that this was ever going to happen. There were political issues. Then there was a leadership change at the top of New Japan. And all of a sudden, relations began to thaw out a little bit, and it looked like there could be a working relationship between the two sides. And then we got the Forbidden Door in Chicago in June. Unfortunately, Omega was still out with his injuries, so he wasn't part of the show. But now he's all healed up, and he's back, and he's going to be at the Tokyo Dome, and that, to me, is the Kenny Omega that I miss. I miss that version, the New Japan version, the cleaner Kenny Omega, the matches that he had in New Japan. Obviously, the matches that he had with Okada. I mean, those are classics. Okada, Naito, Tanahashi, I was going to say Elgin, even the matches he had with him. I mean, he was wrestling everybody back then and having kick-ass matches up and down the card, no matter where he was competing. So getting him and Ospreay in the ring together, I mean, how this match doesn't steal the show, I'll never know, right? This should be the show stealer here on this show. And Will Ospreay, the resume that he put out there in 2022, again, when I was trying to come up with who's the wrestler of the year, I settled on Jon Moxley. But Ospreay was right there at the top of that list. His body of work has been incredible. Now you put him on a big stage like this at the Tokyo Dome in one of the main events on the show. And this show, I mean, we're going to have an early match of the year contender here. The question is who goes over. And I think who goes over is the IWGP US champion. I think Will Ospreay will retain his title. I think he will beat Kenny Omega. And we will be seeing a lot more of Will Ospreay in 2023. With AEW, there'll be another Forbidden Door. Ospreay will be in a feature match on that show. But Ospreay, I think, is going to go over here. I have him as my pick to win. But I am very much looking forward to this match. Ospreay, to me, I know some people just don't like him or his style. I'm a big fan of his work. And, look, he's clearly worked hard to break out of the whole junior heavyweight thing. He's put on some muscle, some bulk. He's bulked up a little bit. But he's still, I mean, the speed and the explosiveness that he has and some of the things that he does in the ring just shouldn't be able to do. He's just a fun performer to watch. And that's the match I'm looking forward to the most, is the U.S. title match. Now we have the main event, the actual main event for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. We have Jay White defending against Kazuchika Okada, who just won yet another G1 climax a few months ago. Jay White and Okada, they've been in the ring before. They've had great matches. I'm sure this one, look, big match Okada. It's the Tokyo Dome. It's Wrestle Kingdom. It's Okada in the main event. This is where he shines, right? This is why he's the best in the world. This is where he shines. This is his stage. It used to be Tanahashi. Then Okada took his spot. So we have Okada challenging for the championship this time instead of coming in as the champion. Look, I know they say that Tanahashi is the ace of New Japan. The ace, the real ace here, it's Okada. And I think they go back to their tried and true. I think Okada wins back the IWGP World Heavyweight title. Jay White is great. I've really come around in the last couple of years on Jay White. But Okada's winning. Okada's going over and getting the championship back. That is your Wrestle Kingdom 17 card. Very much looking forward to this show on Wednesday. We're down to 50 minutes. 50 minutes until midnight. We are live here on YouTube. Jacob Dearmore dropping a $15 super chat. Bushwhacker Solomonster, thanks you. We'll come back to that countdown here in a little bit. Right now, let's move on back to your super chats. pick up where we left off here. We were talking about Molly Mock before. And, ice cream for more. We got Miles Marable with the $4.99. 2023 prediction. Charlotte Flair will break her dad's record. I said last night, I give it 18 months, and I think that's being generous. You may be right. It may not even take that long. It may take 12 months or less for her to at least tie her father's phony record, if not break it. But it won't take longer than 18 months, max. I'm giving them a little more leeway. Things happen. People get hurt. Maybe she takes another break, right? I mean, she just missed 7 months. But it's going to happen. I mean, it's a foregone conclusion that it's going to happen. Cameron Johnson with the $10 super chat. Hell of a year, Solomonster. Glad to have been a part of it. I am glad that you have been part of it. I've been along for the ride, Cameron. See Cameron on a lot of the live streams. Glad you can make it here on New Year's Eve. That's not a prediction. That's a threat. Some people look at it as a threat. Yes, that is a good point. I know BlissFan is very upset. BlissFan is very upset that Charlotte Flair would just come back in and steal all of Alexa's thunder. I can feel the anger radiating. What is going on, by the way, with that football game? Because I'm not, that big into the college scene, but I was keeping an eye on that Ohio State game a little while ago, and it was pretty exciting. I don't know what the update is. Mike M with the $5 super chat. Do you think that we see Kenny Omega versus CM Punk in 2023 in AEW? No, I do not. Scody Clash with the $9.99. In Chicago, you are an hour ahead. Wish everybody a happy new year, and I wish to pursue my dream of becoming a wrestler. Do you have any advice on trying something new that you are scared of doing? Well, I mean, the best advice I can give you is just don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. I don't know how old you are. I don't know, if you're starting out late or anything like that. If you're going to become a wrestler, obviously it's better to do it when you're younger and not older. But, if this is something that you have a passion for, if it's something that you want to do, if it's something where if you don't at least try it, you won't ever be able to forgive yourself, then you just got to give it a shot. Because you don't want to look back and regret the fact that, man, I wish I would have done that, and I didn't have the balls, I chickened out. If you feel that passionately about it, give it all you got. If you fail, you fail. At least you can say you tried. Most people don't do well. How many people do you think try out to become a professional wrestler and never even make it to level 1, right? Let alone the big leagues. You know how many thousands of people try to become a wrestler and they fucking fail and they fall flat on their face? I mean, the way I would look at it is, if I were in your shoes, I would look at that and say, look, if I try this and I fail, well, I'm just like so many other people who tried this thing and failed, right? But if you try it and maybe you have an aptitude for it, maybe you'll do well. Then hey, it works out in the end, right? But just because you're afraid or intimidated, don't let that stop you. Bully the Clown joining us here on New Year's Eve. Giovanni Anglin with the $30 Bully the Clown super chat. Giovanni, thank you very much. What's better than one clown? Two clowns. Where's Braun Strowman at? Where's the Strowman Express? Michael Darcy, thank you for the $30 Bully the Clown super chat. Boy, we have a whole circus going on tonight. Holy shit. Scody says he is 20. All right, so you're young. Boy, well, I wouldn't give to be 20 again, man. Those were the days. You're lucky. See, you're at that point in your life where you got to be trying this stuff, man. Now is the time. But again, it's not one of those things where, oh, that looks cool on TV. I think I'll become a wrestler. Like, you need to know that you want to commit to doing that. You know, I do commentary for House of Glory. And a lot of times I'll get to the shows, pretty early, and, guys are working out of the ring and stuff. And I'm sometimes, if things are quiet and I don't have a lot to do before the show, I'll sit and I'll watch. Or if a certain wrestler is in as a guest, they may be doing a seminar. I saw that with Malachi Black when he came in at one of the Hog shows, and he was very, very generous of his time. He spent hours in the ring giving a seminar to anybody who wanted to participate. And he's in the ring with them, and he's, practicing and rolling around with them and giving them advice and critiquing them. And, to be able to sit and watch that and observe really all the things that as a fan you take for granted, what goes into doing what wrestlers do. Just hitting the ropes, just the way they position their bodies and their mannerisms and their facial expressions and selling. And there's so many aspects that go into it. It's a very hard thing to do. It's not easy. Physically, and then the other aspects of what, it takes to be a wrestler. And that's just, that's just scratching the surface. So again, think about it. If it's something that you think you would be good at physically, I don't know how big or small you are, but being small never stopped Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart from becoming a wrestler, right? Or Rey Mysterio. So that's kind of the long way of saying that if you really want to do it, pursue your dream. Because the worst thing you could do is look back 20 years later and say, shit, I wish I would have tried that. So that's the best advice I can give you. The more you know. We got Spencer Dunnings with the $5 super chat. Aw. Now that obscene super chat is covering Spencer's message. Is that Big Dick Johnson in that super chat? Spencer says 2023 will be my 7th year as a member of the Sound Off family. Thank you for the many years of great memories and getting me through some rough patches. Spencer, I hope the show can be of help to you in 2023 as well. That's very cool. I get a lot of messages like that. It's people going through, stuff in their life, and sometimes all they want to do is just kick back for 2 hours and watch a stream or listen to the podcast, take their mind off things. And the one thing about me in this show, I'm here every single week. You know exactly where to find me because I don't go nowhere. I'm always here. So Spencer, thank you for the super chat, love. GCC 305 joining us tonight. Drop it at $10 super chat. Happy New Year. My New York prediction is that Red Velvet will be the one to end. Oh, I said New York. Did I call that a New York prediction? I think I need to drink some more. It was like, he's making a New York prediction. I said, okay, I'm the one who actually lives in New York, but you can make a New York prediction if you want to. My New Year's prediction is that Red Velvet will be the one to end Jade Cargill's streak at Revolution and become TBS champion. Remember this super chat? Thank you for the reviews all year. GCC, you are very welcome. Ted Evans, $7 super chat. That prediction has an accent. Bro, I'm gonna make a New York prediction, bro. You can hear it, right? You kind of in your head, you hear it in his voice, don't you? It's like nails on a chalkboard. Ted Evans says Cena calling his spots loud last night was ridiculous. Do you think anybody says anything backstage after? No. Nobody says anything because he's John Cena. Who's gonna say something? Who's going to say something? They're just lucky they were able to get him in for that one match. They're just grateful to have him on the show. Nobody is going to say anything to John Cena about loud spot. Timothy Tillis, thank you very much. Thank you for being a channel member. Bobby's World is gifted a channel membership, and the lucky recipient is Michael. Now, Michael, you got to tell me, is it Michael Meneses or Meneses? I've always wondered. I think it's Meneses. Michael is now a channel member. Thanks to Bobby's World, 2110. Dorenzo with the $6 super chat. Happy New Year from the land of Oz. I have to ask, was it a year ago today Tony Khan made the tweet calling out one of the women that seemed to be a bad omen? Hopefully he doesn't make the same mistake. I was live that night because Rampage, I believe New Year's Eve was a Friday night last year. So the New Year's stream a year ago was on a Friday. I covered Rampage, and that was the night that Tony Khan made that dumb tweet about Big Swole. And that was an unforced error on his part. And yeah, we covered that whole Big Swole thing last year. That was a whole fucking mess. That was a year ago. That was a year ago tonight. Brian Pissarro with the $20 super chat drop. Drinking Coors and Jack and Honey. Ooh. That's an interesting combination. Jack and Honey. I've tried the Honey Jack. I have one of those little sample bottles. I've had that sitting downstairs for months. It's all right. I'm not totally sold on it, but it's not bad. Just it wouldn't be my first choice. It says hell of a 2022, and highlight for me was winning Smoking Skull replica belt from Wrestle Rumble. Yes, congrats to you again. We're going to be doing a lot more with Wrestle Rumble, including in the month of January, so keep an eye out for that. Got some other cool contests coming up that I will be given the great honor of being the MC for and picking the winners live on the air. Tim, it was a stupid tweet because Tony Khan is the president of AEW. He should not be tweeting shit like that because it just brings a whole just storm of shit on him that is completely unnecessary. I was not remarking on whether or not what he said was true or not, but someone in his position does not need to be sitting there and making a comment like that on Twitter on a night where the focus should have been on his television show. And you'll notice nobody gave a fuck about Rampage that night because all they were talking about was the Big Swole controversy. So that is what I mean. It was a stupid tweet. It was not commenting even on the substance of what he was saying. It was a stupid thing for him to do. It was an unforced error. It was he put his foot in his mouth. He didn't have to. All he had to do was promote his New Year's Eve show. And he completely took all the focus and attention away from it. Timothy just upgraded his channel membership to Sound of Legend status. Timothy, you are a legend indeed. Thank you, sir. But Tim, yeah, that was my point. That was my point in saying that. Joseph Justice, $5 super chat. Happy New Year, Solomonster. Me and my wife, Crown Jewel, appreciate the shout out that you gave us for our wedding in February. Well, hopefully the wedding went well, and hopefully the nuptials, now we're almost a year later, hopefully everything is still copacetic between you two. Hopefully you are as in love now as you were at the beginning of the year. All good things, hopefully, in 2023. Brian says, Solomonster, no Sundays off. Yeah, they're going to put that on my tombstone when I die. Bob the Builder, were you ever a Colt Cabana fan? Never understood. Yeah, I mean, I liked Colt. When I first became a Ring of Honor fan, I thought he was entertaining. I've never been a huge, like a big Colt Cabana guy, though. Like, honestly, when he came in all those weeks ago on Dynamite, to challenge Chris Jericho for the Ring of Honor World title, I thought that was the worst of all the ROH title matches that Jericho had during his run. Jericho had a lot of great television matches, whether it was Bandito or whether it was Dalton Castle or any of the other people that he defended against, the Colt Cabana match was easily the worst of all the matches. So I've never been like a huge Colt Cabana guy. I found him entertaining in the early Ring of Honor days, and since then it's just, Queen Fire Panda, do you like my profile picture? I busted out for New Year's. Happy New Year. It is so small, I can't see what it is. So you have to tell me what it is, because there's no way I just can't make out what that is. So you're gonna have to fill me in. Taylor Cannon, so glad I found your podcast. Happy New Year, Taylor. Salute to you, my friend. Andy VR Omni. Buy or sell NXT 2018 or AEW 2021? 2018 wasn't even the best year of NXT, so I will go with AEW 2021. Oh, okay, so Fire Panda's picture is me from my episode 1 review of The Last Ride. Oh boy, that was back when I had the bushy hair, right? Because that was during the pandemic. Why would you go with that? I don't ever want my hair to look like that again. That's just not a good look. That's not a good look for me. Although John Cena could have used some of my hair last night. I could have taken, from the way my hair was back then 2 years ago when I didn't cut it for 16 weeks, I could have taken a chunk of my hair and given it to John Cena to, cover up the back of his head. Dan Teller with the $20. Thank you for another successful year, and I pray that you have a prosperous 2023. You've been a huge listening to you through the years since I've discovered you. Mental health is everything. Thank you, Solomonster. Thank you for the $20, Dan. I appreciate that, and I hope you will join me in 2023. We got a lot of good shit coming up, so tag along for the ride. We've got Ali Kokar with the $4.99. Says, I finished watching Terrifier 2 last night. Well directed, written, and had great acting. 8 out of 10. If you don't like gore, don't watch this movie. I have yet to see the second Terrifier movie. I saw the first one. I know Chris Jericho has a cameo in the second. The first one, I like. You guys know I like horror movies. I watch a lot of horror films, and I'm cool with a lot of the gore. The first Terrifier movie, though, I don't know. It was weird. It got to me. Some of the gore, but I've heard the second one is even worse than the first. So I'll probably get around to seeing it, but I have not seen the second one yet. So Juliet says, my hair was not that bad on the episode 1 review of Last Ride. Okay, so maybe that was before it got just ridiculous. It looked like I had a mop on my head. And I was this close to just shaving it all off, like G.I. Jane style. Thankfully, I was able to make it to my barber. Miles Marable. Rank from least to most. Brock Lesnar's most dominant year. 2002, 2014, or 2017. Happy New Year, Solomonster. 2014 is tough to beat. Broke the streak. Won the WWE Championship by demolishing John Cena, the biggest star in the company, in the main event of SummerSlam. And what else did he do in 2014? Beat CM Punk at SummerSlam. No, that was 2013. What am I saying? So the streak and the Cena thing. 2002 was his debut. Won King of the Ring. Beat Ric Flair on TV. Hulk Hogan on TV. The Rock at SummerSlam. The Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell. I gotta go with 2002. I mean, I know he was more of a beast in 2014, but you look at the people that they put him with and booked him against, and the way that he beat all of those big names in his rookie year and became the youngest champion in history. And really capped it off by beating Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell. And then he lost at Survivor Series, but I mean, how do you vote against 2002? Doesn't get any more dominant than that. And he beat some other names too. I mean, I mentioned Flair and Hogan, but Flair, Hogan, Rock, Undertaker, I know I'm missing somebody. Hardy Boys, RVD. Who else did he beat? I think he beat somebody else. I gotta go 2002. Shawnee in the Wrestling, $9.99 super chat. My dad passed away January 1st, 2021. Made me love wrestling and was my best friend. Watching your content and never miss your pod or stream. Thanks for giving me company in a tough time as always. Well, Shawnee, I'm happy that you have found some solace in the content. I know that's a very shitty feeling. I've been there before. And all the best. All the best to you in 2023, my friend. Sean Longworth, $10 super chat. Happy New Year to all the channel members. Wanted to know what your favorite wrestling impersonation is. I personally like Dan Soder's Macho Man and Will Sasso's Hulk and Terry. Cannot wait for next year. Dan Soder, I mean, Jay Lethal's Macho Man is great. Dan Soder still has the best Randy Savage impersonation I've ever heard. I don't think I've ever heard a better Randy Savage. Like, if you close your eyes, you would swear that Randy Savage was in the room with you. So I have to go with Soder. I think Soder wins it. You know who has a great impression? And I first noticed that he did an interview with Chris Van Vliet. And they were in the gym, like, working out together. It's actually a fucking hilarious clip. Chris is working out, and he's working out with Karrion Kross. So he's about to lift some weights, and Kross is sitting there, and he starts doing a Jesse Ventura impersonation. And same thing. If you close your eyes and just listen, you would swear that Ventura was in the gym with Chris. And just like he's going on, I ain't got time to bleed. I remember the Gulf of Tonkin. Like, he's just fucking hilarious. So Karrion Kross has a great Jesse the Body Ventura impersonation. Those two may be my favorite. Dan Teller, huge help. Mental health, LOL, Happy New Year. I thought that was a mistake, but thank you for correcting that. Ali with the $4.99. My siblings think Cody is overrated and should not be the one to defeat Roman. If not Cody, then who is the most suitable and logical choice to beat Roman Reigns? I think Cody is the guy. Seth Rollins certainly has a case to make. You know, when Roman wrestled Rollins at the Royal Rumble, there was no definitive winner. Roman has just run through everybody else in the company. He's pinned them. He's, put them in a submission hole. Like, he beat Goldberg that way. It might be Rollins. Rollins is the one who actually was protected when he got in the ring with Roman. And remember the whole thing, Rollins beats Reigns every time. So, if not Cody, I would probably say Seth Rollins. Dr. Dakota Scorpio, heading into my 6th straight year, staying up all night to watch Wrestle Kingdom. 2017 to the present, it's going to be a great show as usual. Bliss Fan, I knew you were going to say that. Bliss Fan immediately says Bray Wyatt to beat Roman Reigns. It will not be Bray Wyatt. I know you don't want to hear that, but it will not be Bray Wyatt. I know he was never properly beaten for the title, but it will not be Bray Wyatt. Dallas Caballero with the $5 super chat. Happy New Year. My hope in 2023 is that Sami Zayn gets his moment this year. Danielson gets to be in the G1. and Suzuki or Shingo for All Atlantic Champion. Sami Zayn will get his WrestleMania moment. It won't be beating Roman Reigns, but he will win the tag team titles with Kevin. I mean, I'm giving one of my predictions away, but I mean, I've been saying this for 4 months now, before everybody else started seeing what I saw. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're going to have their moment together at WrestleMania in LA. Rojo Bear, that is a terrible idea. Rojo Bear says that Top Dollar should be the one to beat Roman. Well, I certainly hope it's not an over-the-top rope dive contest. EJ Slemp, my first 2023 prediction. I'm predicting Sammy Guevara will continue to cause trouble backstage and Tony Khan will continue not punishing him for it. Zizou. Spent last year with you and doing the same this year. Thanks for everything you do. And Happy New Year. Zizou, thank you very much. Flop Dalla says Little Nose. King Bling Blah, I predict Forbidden Door 2 at Madison Square Garden. You know, I was thinking that too. I had the exact same thought because New Japan was supposed to run Madison Square Garden for their Wrestle Dynasty show. Then the pandemic just completely fucked all those plans up. So a combined AEW New Japan show, I think, could sell out Madison Square Garden, I think. The problem is WWE and MSG seem to be back on the same page. It seemed like they weren't on the same page there for a while, and now WWE's running there a little more frequently. And I also think that Tony Khan values the relationship he has with Arthur Ashe. If you run the New York City market for a major show in June, and then come back in September, it might make it difficult for them to move tickets for Grand Slam. So that's the only reason I think it's not going to happen. But I was thinking the same thing at first. I said, you know, instead of Chicago, they might want to go back to Chicago again. Chicago's their home market at this point, even more than Jacksonville. But I think for those reasons, they might avoid MSG. Jacob Dearmore with the $15 super chat. Happy New Year, Solo. Been a fan for at least a decade and will continue to be. What if at WrestleMania 25, instead of the triple threat, we have instead Cena versus Edge versus Big Show versus Kane? What are your thoughts? Have a great 2023. I don't even remember what Kane did at WrestleMania 25. So, I mean, adding Kane to the match does nothing for me. I don't see how that makes the match any better. Not really a fan of that idea. But Jacob, thank you. I wish you a very happy new year. Chris, I'm not sure. It's a good point. I haven't heard from Zach Holker, like I usually do, about the Royal Rumble pool in the Facebook group. We do one every year. If we do one this year, it would be the 9th. Might be 10 years at this point. I have not heard from Zach. I hadn't even thought about that, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on with the Rumble pool. I'll try to find out for you. Slipperhouse extra says Happy New Year, pal. Well, Happy New Year to you too, pal. Ty the Savior, if you count NXT, Charlotte has 16 world championships. That is true, but WWE is not counting them. So officially, she has 14. But go make yourself a sandwich, fix yourself a drink. By the time you come back, Charlotte will have 16. Jacob Donnelly, $10 super chat. Do you think Jay White has been a cold IWGP champion? Maybe it's the staleness of the Bullet Club, but I have not been feeling his run no matter how great he is. Yeah, it's definitely underwhelming, I feel like. And I think Jay White is great. But yeah, this run has felt very cold, I agree. Allie with the $4.99. Do you think Angle versus HBK from WrestleMania 21 is an underrated gem? It is one of my favorite matches, and I don't think it's talked about enough. A 5-star match. I don't think it's underrated. I mean, I think people give it the praise that it deserves. That's the match that Bobby Heenan at the time thought was the greatest wrestling match he had ever seen, which is high praise coming from someone like him who's been in the business for so long. For him to call that the greatest match of all time that he's ever seen is pretty impressive. So no, I mean, I don't think it's underrated. Does it get talked about at the level of Michaels Undertaker at WrestleMania and some of those big matches? It doesn't, and maybe it should, but I wouldn't call it underrated. There's my boy, Giovanni. Giovanni Anglin with the $30 Bully the Clown Super Chat. Happy New Year. Can we get a sneak preview of any 2023 wrestling predictions that you may have? Well, I've already given you some. 2 minutes ago, I just gave you one. But you're gonna have to wait until tomorrow for the rest of them. I gotta save my my content here for the actual prediction show. People look forward to this every single year. Everything, it's under lock and key. It's all done. Everything's already written out. I've already jotted down all my thoughts. Some of them I've amended based on some stuff that happened this week. You won't have to wait much longer to find out the other ones that I did not already mention a few minutes ago. Where are we at, by the way? You guys got to make sure I don't forget. Let me pop back over here. You know me. I'll be going through these messages, answering questions, and then it'll be like 12:01. But here we are in the countdown. We are 18 minutes away. Less than 20 minutes to go until midnight here on the East Coast. And I'm all out. So that sucks. But 18 minutes to go. So that's how much we've got left. All right, back here. Back to your Super Chats. Jacob Dearmore, $5 Super Chat. I don't know when I will be able to watch this fully, but a prediction I have for 2023 is that we will be seeing more working relationships with WWE and other promotions. Yeah, I don't think that's a stretch at all. I think Triple H will be more open to the idea of working in some capacity with other companies. I think that AAA probably would love to do some stuff with WWE. They were very complimentary of the Dragon Lee signing news, even though they're losing a major star to WWE. They were tweeting and retweeting, and WWE is looking to make inroads in the Mexican market, so that's something I could definitely see. Do I see WWE doing a Forbidden Door type supercard? I don't. I just don't think that's the way they do business. But do I see them being more open to working relationships and maybe, allowing talent to work a match here and there in other promotions that is not AEW? Yeah, I do. I think it's a hell of a lot more likely under Triple H than it would have been under Vince McMahon. We're already seeing it. In a few hours. Shinsuke Nakamura. I know it's a special occasion, but Shinsuke's wrestling for Pro Wrestling Noah. That never would have happened if Vince McMahon was still in charge. Even Nakamura said it never would have happened if Vince McMahon was in charge. Michael Darcy with the $30 Super Chat. Been a crappy week for me as I got laid off and Southwest canceled my travel plans, but ringing in the new year with Solomonster is a great pick-me-up. Thanks for all you do, and cheers to a great 2023. I'm very sorry to hear about the job. I don't know if that was unexpected or not, but that is very shitty. I hope that you will land on your feet. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you'll land on your feet. There is our old friend Braun Strowman. Hey, Griga, thank you for the $2. Says Happy New Year for Strowman the Clown. Yeah, Southwest has been fucking over people all week long. And the least they can do is buy you dinner. So I hope things are going to be better for you in the new year. I'm sure they will. Just hang in. Scody, again, thank you, brother. I appreciate the love tonight. Bob the Builder. A theory I have is the reason the debuts Triple H presented had no reaction is because the crowd that would pop for it is no longer there and moved on to AEW. I don't buy that. I mean, they still they still have fans who would know who these people are. They just don't have a reason to really care because they never really did anything on the WWE main roster. They have to be established first. So I don't really buy that as an excuse. I don't buy that as an excuse. EJ Slamp with the $4.99. In 2023, I am finally creating my own channel where I will be covering the World Baseball Classic. Thanks for all your content and a great year. Well, best of luck with that. That's very cool. And once that's up and running, let me know. And I will let everybody else know. We look out for each other here in this community. Bret Hart with the Russo on a pole, bro. Super chat. I'll get to you in a second. First, I got to get to Justin Spencer before it's going to be midnight soon. My 2023 prediction is Alexa Bliss will become women's champion once again. Oh, Bliss fans going to love that. I think you and Bliss fan just became best friends. I think you did. I think you guys just became best friends. Deontay Soigné with the $10 super chat. Solomonster, I just want to say thank you for being there for me on long doubles, nights, and overtime. I don't have a lot of male inspirations, but you are one. Love you. Also, Sky Blue. Deontay, thank you. I'm glad I can be a male inspiration for you. I am very happy to have your patronage. And Sky Blue, we have a lot of Sky Blue fans in this chat. I know that for a fact. I see them pop up every week on the AEW streams. Too much fails. Solomonster's Booker T WrestleMania 19 rant is my favorite. There have been so many of them over the years. There have been so many Solomonster rants, I can't keep track of them all. A lot of people seem to really appreciate the Hell in a Cell 2019 rant the most. That probably is the most popular one. But yes, I have ranted on the Booker T WrestleMania 19 stuff a time or two over the years. Bob the Builder, your WWE Hall of Fame predictions for 2023. It's funny you mentioned that. I actually have an entire class of predictions for the Hall of Fame, and I will give them to you tomorrow on the podcast. I will tell you that they include a female. They include, because, you know, WWE likes to hit all the different categories. They want to have at least one woman. They want to have an international star. They want to have, you know, usually at least one deceased person. And then there's the celebrity, and they have one of each, right? It's like they have boxes they have to check off. The difference is this year, Triple H is going to be the one in charge of making that decision. Maybe Triple H will be more open to accepting other people's suggestions, but I have an idea of who I think is going into the Hall of Fame. And I will let you know who that is tomorrow. King Bling Blah, why do you always try to keep the pod 2 hours long? Most shows are 2 hours long. Is that by luck or design? Why 2 hours? I would like 2.5 or 3. Why not 4? Maybe 5. How about that? How about I just lock myself in my room all day? I'll give you a 12-hour podcast. How about that? King Bling Blah, you're trying to kill me here. I'm trying to go the opposite direction. King Bling Blah wants me to go the other way. He wants the shows to be longer. You do realize that the Sound Off used to average 2.5 hours every week. And there were weeks where the shows would be 3 hours, or they would be 2 hours and 45 minutes. And then there would be some complaints about them being too long, but, you know, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you know, more. The problem is, I can't do it. Like, I just can't do it. I can't sit here and do that every single week. The way that I do the shows and everything that goes into it, and now I'm doing the streams every week, which I didn't have the 3 weekly streams during the week. Back then, it's too much. It's too much, but I also believe that people want, you know, they want the show to be tighter. I don't think, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think people are looking for 3-hour shows. For example, I don't like the fact that Monday Night Raw is 3 hours every Monday night. I wish they would go back to 2 hours. I think that's a good length. And if you ask me, I think 90 minutes is a good length. So now the shows are usually between 90 minutes and 2 hours. And I think that's a good place to be. Part of it also is sometimes there's just not a lot of news. And then some weeks there's a shit ton of news. But I've been trying to tighten things up as much as possible. I'm a big believer in tightening things up. So that's my New Year's resolution, is not necessarily to go too much shorter, but keep things tight. Maybe we'll do more countdowns. That's one of the reasons why a lot of those shows were 2.5 hours. I would do these special countdowns, top 10s. We had This Week in Wrestling History. You know, when This Week in Wrestling History went away, that's why the shows got a little bit shorter, because you can't do a This Week in History segment more than a year. You got to take a break, otherwise you're going to be repeating the same events over and over again. So the first time I did This Week in History was about 7 or 8 years ago. And then I stopped, went back to it, and it became one of the most popular segments on the podcast, but it had to come to an end. So once I figure out what, the idea should be for a new feature or a countdown, the shows will end up being a little bit longer. But my goal is to try to not do 3 hours or 2.5 hours every single week. I don't think people want that, but the fact that you want more, actually, I appreciate that. That means that you like the content. I'm just joking with you, but I appreciate that very much. Mr. Belvedere should be on TV. Sent in a $5 super chat. I don't think I've ever agreed more with a super chat than I have. Mr. Belvedere should be on TV. Watch Julia against Suri if you have not yet. You will not regret it. Happy New Year, dude. I just watched that match the other day from the Stardom show. Julia is the real deal. Julia, just from her look to her in-ring ability, she's a superstar. She's a superstar. She will end up in WWE or AEW one of these days. And I hear she's working on her English too. Why do you think that is? I think she's going to be in WWE or AEW in the not too distant future. I do believe. Let's see where we are. Uh-oh. We got 7 minutes to go, guys. We're almost there. It is almost time to celebrate the new year. 3rd year in a row. I'm going to be live streaming from 1 year into the next. Like Hulk Hogan when he used to say that he would work 400 days a year when you factored in the time zone difference between the US and Japan, when he would fly back and forth. Henry Ruiz is very happy that somebody gifted him a channel membership, and he appreciates it. Yeah, when you gift them, they're totally random, so. So we got 6 minutes. Let me do a few more super chats here. I'll try to make sure I don't miss out here on the countdown. Keep me posted in the live chat so I don't forget. Bobby's World with the $20 super chat. Happy New Year, Solo. Here's to more likes, more subscribers, more great content, and more Be the Booker. Speaking of which, give that like button an RKO out of nowhere. I like the way you think, Bobby. I like the way you think. Timothy Tillis, let's 2023 be another successful for everyone. Yes. Yes, indeed. Derek Fleming Jr. See, I'm saying that to myself because I know exactly what that means. Derek. Thank you, Derek. Ethan just became a channel member. Sound Off Superstar. Ethan, thank you very much. Yes, we're going to do Be the Booker in a little bit, James. So just stay tuned. We're going to wait till after midnight, then we'll do it. Thomas says, Happy New Year. I wish everybody a great 2023, so I want everybody to wish Thomas a very happy New Year. Cameron Spencer, does Omos against Corbin at WrestleMania interest you? No. No, it does not. Randy Bobandy, if you had to pick your parents, would you choose Jerry's or George's parents? Jerry's parents seem like, very nice parents that wouldn't be overly annoying. George's parents would just drive me fucking nuts. So I will go with Jerry. Shawnee in the Wrestling, buy, rent, sell, and go to hell. Ric Flair, 1986, 1992, 2005, and 2022. I'm going to buy on Ric Flair, 1992. I'm going to rent on Flair 86. I'm going to sell 2005. And I'm going to tell 2022 Ric Flair to go to hell. There you go. Anti-M Bishop, Merry New Year. Make 2023 awesome. All the best. Plus, support indie wrestling in 2023. That's right. Make sure you support indie wrestling wherever you may be. Groovy Goose, bold 2023 prediction. Goldberg goes to AEW. No, I mean, I know Tony Khan has been on a signing spree in the past, but I don't believe that's going to happen. I don't see that happening. Mr. X, who's more toxic to wrestling? Bubba the Love Sponge in 2010 or Vince trying to take over current day? Well, I don't think Vince is coming back. I don't think Vince is coming back. And Bubba the Love Sponge, when he was actually in TNA, whatever he was doing there, contributed absolutely nothing to wrestling. So Bubba the Love Sponge was more toxic than Vince McMahon trying to take over current day, because I don't think Vince McMahon is coming back. He's done. He's finished. He can watch from the sidelines. He can continue to make his millions and let his son-in-law and his daughter run the company. Miles Marable, more over babyface, 2009 Randy Orton or 2008-9 Jeff Hardy? Well, that's a tough one. They were both big time over during that period. Ooh. I would even go beyond 09. I mean, you look at Randy Orton in 2010, coming out of WrestleMania 26, when Legacy came to an end, and Orton went through that period where he was that, the babyface right after WrestleMania. He was every bit as over as he was in 09, if not more so. In 09, he was still a heel. I'm gonna go with Jeff Hardy, especially when it comes to merch. There was a point in time where I believe Jeff Hardy was actually outselling John Cena in merch. It might have been 2008. And there you go. You and I think alike. Miles with the follow-up super chat says, I meant 2010 Orton post Legacy. Well, there you go. Yes. I corrected you before I even saw that. All right, hang tight on the other super chats because I think we are getting very close. And I don't want to miss the big moment here. Mr. Xavier just donated a super chat. All right, T-minus 2 minutes, guys. T-minus 2 minutes, and then we'll get to the rest of your super chats. We'll do Be the Booker, and then we'll get out of here. This is exciting, is it not? Is it not exciting to have another year in the books? This is the third one that we're doing. With the 90 seconds that we have left here, let me just say this. Every year, the last few years, the show and the channel has continued to grow year over year. We have yet to have a year where we slide backwards. And that's because of you. That doesn't happen with your support. I'm hoping and I have every expectation to believe that 2023 will be no different. It will be more of the same. But again, that doesn't happen without you. So I say it all the time, but I don't think I can say it enough because your support allows me to do this and make a living off this. And it's a lot of work. Very time consuming, but it's a lot of fun. So thank you for a great 2022. May 2023 be better for you and me and everybody else. Mark Kwan, I see you in the chat. Boomerang, Chris, Gabriella, Bliss Fan, Joey, domination warrior. My name is Squeaky. Happy New Year from Washington State. We are less than 25 seconds away from 2023. As we count down, here we go. Here we go. Marquand says the final countdown. It's the final 10 seconds, guys. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. Cheers. Cheers to all of the Sound Off community. Every single member, male, female, man, woman, child, no matter who you are. Wishing you a very happy and healthy New Year. And you know what that means, by the way, now that it's officially midnight here on January 1st, 2023, that means that Mercedes Moné is now a free agent. She is no longer tied down to a WWE contract, so I'll drink to that as well. Cheers to Mercedes. It's going to be a fun year to follow her and see where she ends up. Now we'll see how long it takes for her to move to the alumni section. I need people to keep checking WWE.com. You let me know when she ends up in the alumni section. Then we know it's official. Well, I can't wait to go to the gym this week. There won't be a parking spot to be had. It'll be packed to the brim with people who will then disappear within 2 weeks. So this week is gonna suck at the gym, but all these people who make their New Year's resolutions, I'm gonna lose weight, new year, new me, they show up 1 week and then they disappear. Every single year, like clockwork. Every single year. How loud is it in Brooklyn? I hear it out my window. You can't hear it, but I hear it outside my window. You got the fireworks going off. You got fireworks in here too. Jay says my neighborhood sounds like a war zone. Sounds like Call of Duty, huh? William, you're probably right. 2 weeks is being a little optimistic. It probably will be about a week. All right, let's, enough of that. Let's get back to your super chats. We are now commencing the first official live stream of 2023, and I am very happy to have you all here with me. Happy New Year from Canada, says Matthew Sheffield. Happy New Year to you. We have crossed over into the new year. All right, where did I leave off? Where did I leave off? I left off with Michael Darcy. Michael Darcy, who will be the AEW men's and women's champion at the end of 2023. Well, that kind of ties into one of my predictions, so I don't really want to give it away here. But I will tell you today. You will have, at least on one of those, you will have the answer later on today. Griga, Happy New Year to you again. Thank you, brother. Corey Blake, $10 super chat. Do you think that we will get a Montez Ford heel turn in 2023? Plus, buy or sell on the better heel run, 2003 Kane or 2009 Randy Orton? I got to go 2003 Kane. That was a talking about a literal monster run that he was on. 2003 Kane. And then as far as a Montez Ford heel turn, yes. I do believe so. Hey, Ray Ray just became a Sound of Legend. Ray Ray, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Ray Ray Bread Heart. With the $11 super chat. Happy New Year, Solomonster and people up. Boy, it is getting loud outside. Who said that it was a war zone in their neighborhood? It's starting to sound that way here. It says, all of you have kept me very entertained through a very tough 2022. My father passed away last April, and other problems happened. Thank you for your hard work, Solomonster. Well, Bret Hart, we are always here for you, brother. You know that. We're happy to have you in the chat. You got a lot of people here who are here to chat with you whenever you need it. So Happy New Year, brother. Macho Punk. Solomonster's voice is like comfort food. Too sweet, me brother. Too sweet to Macho Punk. Right back at you. Justin Logue, $5 super chat. The funniest moment of my year was you answering my question on the podcast. I was the Eat at Joe's Diner match guy. Your reaction was priceless. Oh, you were the one, huh? You were the one with that match stipulation. That was only a few weeks ago, right? No, I'm glad you were entertained. That was my genuine reaction. Sam Dankman Weed, $10 super chat. Happy New Year from work. Something I would like to see from the channel in 2023 are more interviews, not just with wrestlers, but content creators like Wrestling Bios as well. Yeah, I mean, I've done a whole ton of interviews, wrestler interviews over the years, but there's a lot of great people who do quality interviews now. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for what Chris Van Vliet does on his channel. I've been on Chris's show before. Chris is a great guy. I've met him before as well. So it's tough, you know, because there are a lot of people who are already doing quality interviews. And yeah, I've always been of the mindset, if I'm going to interview somebody, it has to be somebody who I think my audience is going to want to hear from. So I will still do interviews when there are people to be interviewed who I think you guys would be interested in. So you might see more of that. You might see more mooing as well. Our boy Boots just dropped a $100 moo super chat. The second Hundy bomb of the night. And our first of 2023. Boots, you are the very first $100 bomb here in 2023. You get the virtual trophy. Here it is. It's non-existent. It doesn't exist. But if it was in my hand, you would have it right now. Thank you, Boots. Putting boots to asses here in 2023. Moo in the new year. Yeah, where are the cow emojis? Look at those cow emojis. I told you, I want to have some hamburgers tonight, man. I want some burgers for dinner. Medium well. That's how I like my burger. Tuxedo T Servo, Happy New Year, everybody. Hope everybody has a great 2023. I hope you do as well. Slim Yoshi, Happy New Year. My 2023 prediction is Sheamus wins the IC title, Cody wins the WWE title, and it will be a big year for LA Knight, Io, and Rhea. West Coast James, Feliz Año Nuevo, hermano. Gracias. Gracias, senor. See, I'm getting better at this. Jericho8131 with the $10 super chat. I ended 2022 in bed, fighting a stomach virus, but I am fortunate to be able to end the night with this podcast. Thank you for your constant hard work. Hope to see you grow even more in 2023. Well, that is no bueno. So hopefully you will get over that stomach virus very quickly. Those are not fun. So feel better, brother. Dorzak with the $5 super chat. Happy New Year to Solomonster and the chat. Thanks for all the work you put in. It's some of my favorite stuff on the entire internet. Big ups. Wow. Think about how big the internet is. So that is a huge compliment. There really is. all the stuff on the internet. I appreciate that you look to me and my podcast for all of your entertainment. Hey, Steve Mello, he can't stay, but he wanted to say Happy New Year to all of the Solo Maniacs and to me as well. I was kind of hoping that Steve would drop by so I can put him over. Steve Mello is the maestro behind much of the artwork that you see here on this channel, the thumbnails, the slides, the logos, the images. And he really, and I've said it before, he really is the one who helps bring this channel to life. You know, and we collaborate every single week. We're basically in touch every single day. So without him, a lot of what you see would simply not be possible. So a very, very special thank you to Steve, wishing him and his family and his boys a very happy new year. Brumakian Productions says, when the clock hits 12, I'm downing a whole drink. Well, you better be done with that by now because it's 10 minutes into the new year. You better be on drink number 2 by now. Ray Ray dropped a $50 super chat. How did I miss that? Ray Ray just became our second biggest super chatter of the new year so far. Dropping a $50 super chat bomb. That deserves the S chant. And the crowd goes wild for Ray Ray. He says, Happy New Year from Australia. So it was probably already New Year's for you, wasn't it? How many hours ahead are you? He's been sitting here the whole time thinking, man, New Year's is over for me. All these stupid Americans sitting around waiting for the clock to hit 12. Thank you, Ray Ray. King Bling Blah, were you scared of Y2K in 2000 or did you laugh at it? I pretty much laughed at it. Everybody talking about it. They thought the world was going to end. All the computers were going to shut down. Please. Please. Xavier with the $4 super chat. Happy New Year, Solomonster. I hope you have a great 2023. Who do you think will take the or who do you think will take the tag team championship from the Usos? That will be Kevin Steen and El Generico. They will be taking the tag team titles from Jimmy and Jay. Casey is Raw. Oh, wait a minute. Before we get to Casey, though, look who it is. It is Michelle Mills with the $50 super chat bomb. Thumbs up to Michelle Mills, wishing a happy new year. And a very happy new year to you as well. Michelle, I thank you for all of your support this year as well. Casey is Raw. $5 super chat. Solomonster, I'm coming from the past. In the year 2022, what has 2023 done so far? I am still in 2022. 2023 has been pretty uneventful so far as wrestling goes, but on this channel, it's been very eventful. We've gotten a whole bunch of bombs. It's been bombs away here on the channel here for the last 10 minutes. So it's been great for the sound off, but pretty fucking boring otherwise. Fire Panda, thank you for the $3. Richie, was this the year Michael Myers was buried as a horror icon? Michael Myers will never be buried. Michael Myers will live forever. All it takes is one follow-up movie that people rave about and go crazy for to rehabilitate the character, and we're back in business. And there will be more Halloween movies. There will not be any more Halloween movies with Jamie Lee Curtis, but there will absolutely be more Halloween movies. So Michael Myers is not dead. He is not buried. He will never be dead. He will outlive us all. BCOM, see clearly, Ohio State lost, but Happy New Year's. Well, I'm sorry for all the Ohio State fans. I mean, I don't really have any attachment to the team, so I really could care less, but if you're an Ohio State fan, I am sorry to hear that. Here's Boots with the $100 super chat from earlier. The old ball and chain asked if we had any plans for New Year's Eve. I told her I had plans with the Solomonster and the chat. She called me an effing mark and threw a steel chair at me. I ducked in time, but she got me with a fireball. She's not being very oozy, to say the least. Wow. She pulled an ace steal on you, huh? She threw a chair at you. You're lucky she didn't try to take a bite out of your arm. Boots, thank you for the bomb. You are number one so far here in 2023. Richie, what did you think of Dominic trying to attack his father at Christmas? Would have been funny if he did it on New Year's. I thought it was great. I want him to attack his father on every major holiday. Valentine's Day is going to be a lot of fun. When he and Rhea, they show up for Valentine's Day, all hell's going to break loose. Andre Williams with the 5. New Year's Solomonster. Has anybody ever told you that you look like the actor who plays Art the Clown? You would be the first. You would be the first. Is that supposed to be a compliment? I don't take that as a compliment at all. Art the Clown is fucking scary as shit. Well, now you've ruined my night. Thank you, Andre. Of course, I'm thinking of Art. I actually don't know what the actual actor looks like outside the makeup. I've never seen him outside the makeup, so I don't know what he looks like. I just thought you were comparing me to Art the Clown, and that just made me very sad. Maze the Great 757. Happy New Year to the best podcaster ever. Well, who would that be? It says a new pro wrestling tease idea. Turn your skull logo green with the words GWO at the bottom. I'm not sure about that. Not sure I get that one. I'd have to see what that looks like. But Maze, thank you. Slim Yoshi, allow me to make my first super chat of 2023. Happy New Year. Also, congratulations to Mercedes Vernado. She is now a free agent. Yes, she is. I'm telling you, keep an eye on that alumni section on .com. Should be popping up there very soon. Oh, look who it is. It is Ray Ray with the. Is that's the Australian denomination, right? So what would that be? Oh, 99. Okay, 99. Yeah. So it's $100. It's $100. I wasn't sure what the conversion rate was on that. Ray Ray, you're blowing me away here tonight, man. You are blowing me away. I'll get to you in a second. I'm playing catch up here. My name is Squeaky. LOL sent a $4.99 super chat. If Stone Cold never walked out in 2002, who would you have liked to seen him work with at SummerSlam that year? 2002. Well, they didn't do Austin and Hogan at WrestleMania 18. Hogan went away. The week before SummerSlam is when he did the job to Brock Lesnar in the bear hug on SmackDown. If there was a way to do Hogan and Austin at SummerSlam, right, that would have been huge. So, I don't know, just would it have been a great match? I don't know, Rock and Hogan had what I thought was a 5-star match at WrestleMania 18, but the crowd had a lot to do with that. Would it have been the same at SummerSlam in a smaller building? Maybe. I don't know, but God. Fucking super chat. Oh, God. I thought it was the moo at first, and then I heard the growling, and it always startles me. I don't know why I created that. Every time. Every single time. Oh my goodness, it is Boots. And Boots just put his boot. He just put a boot print in my ass with that super chat. A $200 super chat bomb. Boots ain't playing around, man. Boots ain't playing around. Boots saw Ray Ray. He saw some of these other people. He said, fuck that. I can do better than that. Wow. Well, I'm not even going to wait. I'm going to go right to Boots here. Boots now has my undivided attention with that one. It says, in regards to the podcast length, Sacred Symbols, a PlayStation podcast, averages between 3.5 and 4.5 hours every single week. The host reminds us that the podcast is only as long as it needs to be. Happy New Year, everybody. Do you think Moxley is wishing Kevin Dunn a happy New Year? First, let's sing Seth Rollins' song. Sorry, what'd you say? I had to sing the song. He wants to know what Moxley thinks of Kevin Dunn. Well, you know, I think in the new year, Jon Moxley has made a resolution to be kinder and to be nicer. So the only way to know for sure is to ask him. Is to ask Jon Moxley what he thinks of Kevin Dunn here in 2023.
Fuck Kevin Dunn.
What can you do? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. We know how Jon Moxley feels about Kevin Dunn. Boots, that's a very great point, though, that the host makes about that PlayStation podcast. The show is as long as it needs to be. Sometimes it's 90 minutes. Sometimes it's 2.5 hours, right? It's going to vary. I'm not limited to a certain length, right? That's the beauty of it not being a television show. I'm not constricted to, I have to fit within a certain neat little box, right? It's as long as it needs to be. It changes every single week. That's what's so great about it. Boots, though, in all seriousness, wow. Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you very much. So yeah, my name is Squeaky. Austin Hogan, I think, could have happened, potentially, at SummerSlam. Obviously, Austin didn't want to do it. If not Hogan, though, who would I have wanted to see Austin against? Who was on that roster that he hadn't already worked with? I mean, I don't know. He worked with Triple H already. He worked with Jericho. Rock was busy with Brock. Michaels came back, but he was going to work Triple H. I think Jericho and Flair worked together, right? But Austin had already been working with Flair before he left, so that really wouldn't be a very appealing match. I still come back to Austin and Hogan, honestly. If not that, then Austin and Brock, but Brock was busy with Rock. Justin Glasner. Sorry, I got here as fast as I can. Hey, WWE trope. Justin, thank you for the $3. EM.313, thank you for the 2. M Mills, again, for the 50. The 4th, thank you very much. Michelle, and I wish you a very happy new year. Shawnee with the $4.99. Do you have a favorite wrestling DVD? I'm partying like it's 2005 and getting a DVD player, looking for recommendations. Happy New Year's to the GOAT. I think that the rise and fall of ECW is still one of the best documentaries they've ever done. I enjoyed that DVD. I wasn't even a diehard ECW fan back in the day, but I enjoyed that one. The Bret Hart collection they did back in 2006, I believe it was, is another favorite of mine. The 3-disc collection. The Ric Flair collection. The 3-disc Ric Flair DVD set that came out many years ago. That's also, I actually, the Bret one and the Flair one I have like the top of the pile of the DVDs that I have. I haven't bought any DVDs in recent years though. To me, DVDs are, I mean, it's a dying technology. The Sneaker Nerd. The $5 super chat. Happy New Year. I've been listening since 2016. Never missed a podcast or a video. By the way, I wear all types of sneakers. You got those LA Gear ones that light up from 30 years ago? I used to have those. I don't even know if LA Gear is around. Do they even make sneakers anymore? EM. Do you think LA Knight will win the WWE Championship? I think that LA Knight has the potential to be WWE Champion. Do I think he will win the WWE title? I don't know. I think he could definitely be champion one day. Do I think he'll actually get the chance? I honestly don't know, but I do think that LA Knight in here's another prediction. I'm gonna take one from my notes for tomorrow. LA Knight will be either an Intercontinental or a United States champion in 2020. See, you're skipping ahead to the WWE time. I wouldn't go that far just yet. He will be an IC or US champion sometime this year. That is my prediction. Ray Ray with that $99 super chat drop. We are around 15 hours ahead. Here's to an awesome 15 hours. I didn't think it was that long. Here's to an awesome 2023. Thanks for everything, Solo. Well, you're very welcome, and I mean, I should be thanking you for all the love you've been showing me tonight. Bliss fan says Bray is getting LA Knight. Bray is getting LA Knight over. I don't think LA Knight needs Bray Wyatt to get him over. All due respect to Bray. King Bling Blah, pick the WWE pay-per-view I will watch tonight on Peacock. King of the Ring 1993. And there's Boots with the $200. I said two. I sound like Foghorn Leghorn. I say. $200 super chat that I already read. Boots, thank you very much. Richie, how would they bring Michael Myers if they continue? I think it would just be a totally new story. I think it would probably be somebody who would come in and ignore everything that happened in the most recent series, and they would just create their own story involving the character. And I just hope, one thing that Rob Zombie did that I did not like is they gave Michael a backstory to explain why he is the way he is. I think it's scarier if you don't know. That's one of the things they did with the character that I didn't like. So whoever it is, I hope they don't do that. I hope they don't go the Rob Zombie route. But I would think it's just going to be a completely different story with him. Your boy Hobo with the $35 super chat. Happy New Year. I hope you and everybody in the chat has their best year ever in 2023. Also, I need your help in rooting for the New York Giants today. If they win, they get into the playoffs for the first time since 2016. Well, my brother is a huge New York Giants fan, so I am rooting for the Giants so that he's in a good mood and it's his team. So I will root for the Giants for you as well. I don't have a dog in this race, in this hunt, so I will root for the Giants for you. DEH Sires, have you considered doing the weekly podcast live? I've thought about it, but I think people like the format that it is now. I like the format that it is now. I have certain commitments to Spreaker, who we started with, our new podcast host this year. I mean, I have the ability to do live shows, I think even through Spreaker, but no. I don't really, the show, I'm very cognizant of not changing too much about the flagship show. It has worked the way that it is for so long. I'm doing all these other things now, but I don't want to fuck with the main show. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think that format works. I don't, sometimes it's a pain in the ass, frankly, to get ready for the live streams. And there's certain things when I do the show live and the software and everything that have to be prepped. I'll use audio sometimes on the main show that I can't use on YouTube, or I'd be clipped instantly. I'd be hit with a copyright strike, certain music. I have the freedom to do things on the main show that I can't do on YouTube. So it's just better doing it the way that I do it. The Outside Line with the $10 super chat says, have a great 2023. Can't wait to hear your predictions tomorrow. It's going to be good. It's going to be real good. And I hope you will definitely tune in for this. I hope. Thank you for all of that super chat. I'm feeling the love. I'm feeling the love here tonight. Very much so. I only wish I did not go through my drink here as quickly as I did. But we have some other stuff here. Gotta always be prepared. Look at Moxley, by the way. It's a nerd. There he is. That's the Wrestler of the Year for 2022. Who will be the Wrestler of the Year for 2023? We don't know yet. We don't know yet. Couple more super chat. We will get to be the booker here in a second. Pillow v Pillow. Who is the girl at the beginning of the show that says, "You are listening to the Solomonster sounds off"? She is a very special someone who a listener of the show got a cameo. I think it was a cameo. And I don't remember her name, honestly. Her name escapes me, but she's got a very sultry voice. So yeah, that is who that is. Deep delicious chicken and turkey with flavor in Samuel Jackson style. Happy money loving New Year's to you, Solomonster. Keep up the great work with your content and stay blessed. You as well. Chicken and turkey, two of my favorite things in this world. How many months until baseball season, Solomonster? I hear the pitchers and catchers are reporting next month. So we're not too far away. This is going to be the year. This is the year for the Mets. Juan Ocampo with the $4.99. Already down half a bottle of Buchanan's whiskey. Now on to the bottle of Crown Royal Peach. My family and 2 dogs are here in my 1-bedroom apartment. So you are in a 1-bedroom apartment with your family, 2 dogs, some Buchanan's, and a bottle of Crown Royal Peach. If that isn't a reality show, I don't know what is. And on that note, because you have been so patient with me, we are now going to have our very first. You are all going to be part of the very first edition for 2023 of Be the Booker.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to be the Booker.
Oh, this is so exciting. We are starting fresh. It's a brand new year. And you get to be part of the very first installment of Be the Booker here in 2023. There she is, the brand new SmackDown Women's Champion. In all of her, as you gaze at this wonderful image. Hey, Steve. I don't know if Steve's still with us, but it's a hell of a shot that Steve has in this image here. Andrade, he is, yeah. Anyway, let's get myself in trouble. It's only January 1st. Let's get to this here. Let's be the Booker. And we'll begin with the men's edition. We begin here with Pentagon Jr. He'll always be Pentagon Jr. to me. You can call him whatever you want. Penta Oscuro, Pentagon Dark. It's a good way to kick things off here. And it will be Penta going one-on-one with Jake the Snake Roberts. We're not just talking Jake the Snake Roberts. This right here is classic sadistic heel Jake the Snake Roberts from 1991. I love it. The snake bite incident. Look at Macho Man. What a fucking crazy bastard he is, huh? Would you agree to that? How many of you in the chat would agree to let a snake, a king cobra, gnaw on your arm like this? Not this guy. You couldn't pay me enough for that. But Macho Man was wound a little bit differently than most people. Penta and Jake, though, I like that match. Both guys in their prime, sign me up for that one. That angle is still probably one of the most memorable from my childhood. We begin with, well, what wouldn't you know? Look who it is, everybody. It is the brand new free agent. It is Mercedes Moné. There she is, Sasha Banks. How appropriate that we land on Sasha Banks here on January 1st. We're going to be seeing her just in a few days. Let's see who she's getting in the ring with. Wouldn't it be something if it landed on Kyrie? She's in Be the Booker. Kyrie's in here. Got a lot of potential opponents for her in here. Sasha Banks going one-on-one with Deonna Purrazzo. My finger slipped. I botched the bell. You know, realistically, that is a match that we can now see. This match could very well happen. We could get Sasha Banks against Deonna Purrazzo. That is now a realistic possibility. And I think that would be a hell of a fucking match. There you go. You know what? You make a very good point, Brock. Sasha Banks, the first show that Sasha shows up on in 2023, it's not for WWE. It's not for AEW. It's not even for New Japan. It's right here. It's on my show. My show. I didn't even have to pay her fee. So we're 2 for 2. Sure would be nice to go 3 for 3 here in this first edition. And we're off to a great start. We got Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. We got the Rockers. That's a great start. Who's it going to be? Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. Getting into the ring with the Lucha Brothers. Oh, we got double the dose of Penta here this week. Man, that'd be a great fucking match. The Rockers and the Lucha Bros. What a fucking match. I like that match. I love that match. Hey, we did pretty good. I'm very happy with Be the Booker. It's going to be hard to top that. That's about as great of a Be the Booker as we've had in how long? I mean, we've gone 3 for 3 before, but not like that. Holy shit. Penta pulling double duty, but that's a hell of a tag team match. Yeah, we still have no, that's a good point. We still have no release date for the AEW Fight Forever video game. So it will be out this year. That could be February. That could be December. We have no idea. But that's a nice way to start the year. Yeah, Bliss fan, that is weird because Alexa's actually in there twice. And yet we don't land on her very often. You know what she is? She's like a special attraction in Be the Booker. She's like the Brock Lesnar of women's Be the Booker is Alexa Bliss. And that is the only time you will ever hear me compare Alexa Bliss and Brock Lesnar. DEH Sires with a $1.99 super chat. Who had more potential, Velveteen Dream or Tessa Blanchard? Oh, boy. Velveteen Dream could have been a WrestleMania headliner one day. I mean, I guess so could Tessa. I always envisioned Tessa and Charlotte. That was the obvious match, right? The battle of the daughters of the horsewomen, right? Charlotte against Tessa and, women's main event of WrestleMania one year. Velveteen Dream, though, his upside was huge. And he just pissed it all away. Pissed it all away. Same with Tessa. I really don't feel sorry for either one of them. Ali, $4.99. Predictions. Cody against Lesnar, SummerSlam. Cody against Gunther at WrestleMania 40. Grayson Waller wins the NXT Championship in 2023. John Cena wins number 17 at WrestleMania next year. So those are some predictions right there from Ali. Some big predictions there. Hey, Six God, Happy New Year to you as well. Yeah, I mean, look, there are people in this world and people in wrestling, bad things happen. You feel sorry for them. They deserve your sympathy. Velveteen Dream and Tessa Blanchard are not two people who I think deserve people's sympathy. When their messes are of their own making. Shawnee with the $4.99. Favorite Jake Roberts match or promo, and do you think Jake is an underrated babyface? Yeah, maybe. I mean, people talk about Jake more as a heel than they do as a babyface. Favorite promo, he had that Muck of Avarice promo from WrestleMania 6 that was very good. Before his match with Ted DiBiase. But then he had that great promo after he put his hands on Elizabeth at Tuesday in Texas. And Mean Gene sold it great. Jake was so happy with what he did. He goes, "Oh, I got to touch her," and he's like, it's like this sick, demented promo. And Gene is just like, "You disgust me. Don't touch me. Get out of here." Jake was just, when it came to stuff like that, Jake was just on another level. Deep Delicious Chicken and Turkey with Flavor. A bold prediction in wrestling, and I'm calling it Swerve Strickland against Kenny Omega. Omega better be listening. I think Swerve Strickland has the potential to be a top heel in AEW in 2023. And I don't have that in my predictions tomorrow, but I'll say it now. I think he could be a top heel in the company. That's how good he is. By the way, we're getting Swerve and AR Fox in Seattle on Dynamite on Wednesday. Lucha Underground lives. Killshot against AR Fox. So I am looking forward to that match very much so. I remember when Swerve literally left a piece of himself in the ring the last time they wrestled each other. Juan Ocampo. Now it is 2K23. Ask Plumber Moxley. He wants me to ask Plumber Moxley about Kevin Dunn now that it is the new year. I don't think his opinion has really changed, but I mean, I'll ask him. Mox, what do you think?
Fuck Kevin Dunn.
There you go. I mean, look, he's very predictable, He's very predictable. Let's get rid of Mox, by the way. Let's bring back Roman. Let's bring back the tribal chief. Let's do the few more here. Allie with the $4.99. Thanks for your support all year. My health has greatly improved, which I'm very happy to hear about. Looking forward to advancing my career in fashion consultation this year. And yeah, we've exchanged emails, and I've spoken to Allie before, and I wish you all the best in 2023. I'm sure this is going to be a comeback year for you. Miguel wants to know, do I think the Golden Lovers against Young Bucks will happen this year? I do. I expect that we will see Kota Ibushi in an AEW ring, and it will not be Kota Ibushi representing New Japan. I believe he'll be a free agent, but I think we will see him in an AEW ring. I guess a lot of it depends on the situation with his shoulder, and if he's fully recovered from his injury. He hasn't wrestled in a long time, well over a year. So if he can get that fixed up, I think we'll see him in an AEW ring. Deep Delicious says 100 stars. The match tonight for Be the Booker. It was a great night. Andre Williams, hey Solomonster, it is Andre. My apologies earlier, bro. Now, it's all good. I misread your super chat on Art the Clown. It's all good. Derek Jones, Happy New Year. Mercedes Monet in House of Glory. I don't know. Stranger things have happened. I mean, look, we've had her pop into the House of Glory school. Before SummerSlam a few years ago, she came to the school to train with Red. She loves the Amazing Red. She loves the Amazing Red. So I'm not privy to those conversations, but never say never. She has a lot of respect. A lot of people have respect for the Amazing Red because the guy's a legend. So never say never. Wouldn't that be something? Sam Dankman Weed. Solomonster with the Masterpiece Theater pajamas. I never watched Masterpiece Theater. Drew McIncock. Been listening since 2016. Love you, Solo. 2023. Let's fucking go. Thank you, Drew. Beowulf. It's a great point. Don West. Love the Amazing Red. Do you know Do you know that the only reason that the Amazing Red got an action figure from his time at Impact was because of Don West? Don West is the one who pushed for it. They made Don West the manager of the Amazing Red. It was way too brief. But yeah, no, Don West loved Red, and Red had a lot of respect for him. DEH Sires with the $4.99. If you could rejuvenate any wrestler and put them in today's time, who would you pick? Mine would be Kurt Angle or Eddie Guerrero. Kurt Angle would be fucking great. Kurt Angle's a machine. You give me Kurt Angle back in his prime, healthy, or as healthy as he was, let's say in 2002. 2002, Kurt would be an absolute monster. Lupo Della Luna, I believe that's AJ, is it? Happy New Year, Solomonster. Yeah, there it is, AJ Lupo for Hog in 2023. AJ, look forward to seeing you again, brother. Happy New Year. Shawnee says, with the economic and political situation as it is, what is your opinion on how Moxley feels about Kevin Dunn? Well, I would have to ask Moxley.
Fuck Kevin Dunn.
Okay. I guess he's in no mood. And Red Emissary of Darkness just had a thought. Ibushi against Takeshita in AEW. Oh, fuck. Now you're talking here. Now you're getting me excited for this year. I think we're in for a lot of great wrestling this year, and as always, it begins this week. I'm not talking about Monday Night Raw. I'm talking about Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be a huge day if you are a wrestling fan. You got Wrestle Kingdom, and you got a big Dynamite in Seattle. So I'll be here to review it all for you at some point during the day on Wednesday. Of course, Wednesday night. I'll be here Monday night. I'll be here Friday night. But first, before all that, I'll be here later today for episode 789. It is the annual prediction show, and we got a lot of news to cover as well. So I want to, one last time here, thank you all for all of the support tonight, hanging out with me here on New Year's for the third straight year. You guys have hung out with me, and I appreciate that. I wouldn't have it any other way. I hope that you've enjoyed the night and had some fun, and easy way to kill a couple of hours. And as I go through these final super chats here before I get out of here, let me just say also that if you have not already done so, I know we have a lot of people who are on the channel who aren't subscribed. They pop in, they check out certain videos. Hit the sub button, because not only does it help the channel out, but when content goes up, if your notifications are on, it will alert you. You will get a notification before I go live. If there's a breaking news stream, you would get a notification for it. New content goes up like RSPW Rewind. So definitely go ahead and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Very, very important that you do that. And hit the like button on this video as well. And let me make sure here that I don't want to forget our boy Nir. All the way from Israel. I didn't forget about you. I didn't forget about Nir. Or Ray. Ray writing in the chat. Shout out to Ray. She's still on cloud 9 after last night. She might not be too happy with me after she listens to the podcast tomorrow. Just a little word of warning. But Nir says, may we hear less from Kanye West this year. I'll do you one better. May we not hear from him at all. That would be fine with me. Gabriella, thank you very much. And I think I have gone through everything. I think I'm all done here. No, I'm not. HBK C83 coming in with a $5 super chat. According to WWE, John Cena is the GOAT. You see him getting one last run as the WWE champion. So basically, will he win title number 17? I think he will. I will tell you, having seen the last couple of matches that he's had with Roman at SummerSlam and then the tag match last night, it doesn't inspire a whole lot of confidence in me in seeing Cena having any kind of title run. You know, he's older now. He's very busy with his movie projects and TV stuff and Peacemaker and all that. His Honda commercials, whatever it is that he's doing these days. I've not really been impressed by John Cena in the ring. I don't know if he's just sort of coasting. I don't know if it's just age. I don't know what it is. So I have no interest in a WWE title run for John Cena, but could I see him winning title number 17 and then, vacating it or quickly dropping it? Yes. Yes, I do. I could see that. Not in 2023. But I think ultimately he will get title number 17. It won't be this year, but I think he'll get number 17. And DEH Sires, will we see Evolution 2? Also with non-WWE talent. I don't think we will. I think if we were going to get a second Evolution pay-per-view, it would have happened by now. It's going to be 5 years. They haven't done another one. I mean, what does that tell you? More people like Don West. Less people like Kanye West. Well said. Well said. It's got great music. I'll give him that. But I like the way you think. More Don West and less Kanye West. All right. I have reached the end of your Super Chats. We are now into the new year. I am going to head out so I can wind down and get my beauty rest so I can record the podcast in the morning, which I am still not prepared for. I'm not done with my work yet. So, yes, there is James, there is a podcast later today. Ray, thank you. Ray knows that whatever I say, I at least try. I try to be fair. Try to be fair. I don't hate for the sake of hating. I made my thoughts very clear on Charlotte and what they did with her on SmackDown. I'll talk more about her and Ronda. Talk more about the two of them on the podcast and where I think things may be going with them, and in particular with Ronda Rousey. Deputy Dog, Happy New Year to you as well. Jim Varney. Who brought up Jim Varney? All right. Be well. Stay safe. Have yourselves a great night. Happy New Year again. And let's do it again next year, right? 4 years in a row, right? 4? What do you think? 4? Should we do it again? We have some time to decide. Happy New Year, guys.